grandfathers today. So, if you cannot tell, I spent a lot of time with both of my grandfathers, like both sides of my grandparents. They spent a lot of time with me, and they made sure that they put a lot of things into me. Like, it was known that they were letting me know, like, hey, when we go, I want you to remember me. It was, so they spent a lot of time with me. So, my grandpa Jolie Hopkins from Centerville, Texas. So, I'll tell y'all about him, real quick story. So we would spend like the whole day together. Like, I would go to work with him. We might start off in the mornings, or first we might go feed the cows and feed the pigs, because we have pigs as well. Then he might get a call and we'll go to work where he worked at, right? So that he was the butcher at Woody's. And then sometimes we would go fishing. Like, that would be like part of our day. Like, we stop, and the creek is called Geechee Creek. So if y'all ever traveling down Highway 7, I always kind of looked into that. But in looking back at most of like the family tree, like, so on both sides there's real Indian. So yeah, you see the high cheekbones. So on both sides, my grandmother's side and my grandfather. So y'all that's from Centerville, look into y'all family tree. So anyway, and trace your tribe. That's what they say. Well, that's what you're supposed to do anyway. And your tribe needs to claim you. So in saying that, I used to mess with my grandfather, and so since we were together, like, he would entertain me with stories. So a lot of that was him telling me like the family history, what the family tree was. But what I had found out was that he told me about the family tree so that I could know like how I was kin. Like, nobody would be able to fool me and say that, oh, you're not his, or you don't have this, because like what the importance of it was the land. Like, that is how we had the land. Like, a lot of land is like passed down, and if you guys don't know that, you need to make sure you look it up and know your family history. It's heired land, and so you have to do research to know what you should be doing with your heired land. That means, i.e., do not sell that land. That's like important. And heired means it's passed down. It does not mean that one person owns it or controls it. Heired means no, it's passed down, meaning it goes from the parent to the children to the grandchildren to the great-great-grandchildren. It just keeps getting passed down. That means no, one person is not over the land. That means, i.e., everybody needs to get in and pay the taxes, and figure it out. If you're not gonna pay the taxes, step out the way. But the taxes need to be paid. The land needs to be kept up. Also, there needs to be a family plan of what's going to happen with the land. Okay, are we going to do agriculture? Or are we going to have it set up with the college, and they come in and they do the trees? Like, it's all kind of stuff that you can do. But you have to come together as a family, not be separated, right? So that's why people go get educated, so they know how to come back and what to do with this land that the family has, and it's passed down from generation to generation to generation, so that it goes on and the family has wealth. This is why our ancestors prepared for us. Okay, so in saying that, also, i.e., going on trips with my grandpa, like being that means that when I looked for a man, I wanted to make sure he better have some kind of qualities of my grandfather. Like, he can't be lazy, he can't be lying to me, just a lot of things that you can't get away with, because I literally can see it coming. Like, you can't tell me, oh, it took me all day to go Feed the cows? No, it didn't, because I went with my grandfather and I knew how to feed the cows. I knew how to go to the sale. I knew how to look up how much cows cost. Like, stop with the stupidness. Okay? I'm just really looking at you stupid. And also, i.e., they told the history of what was supposed to happen with the land when they left. All right. Moving on with the story, I would, so there's no lying to me talking about you. It took you all day to feed the cows. You weren't feeding the cows. Cows have 4 legs. You were doing something that had 2 legs. So figure that one out. Anyway, I would usually just entertain my grandpa since while he was driving, or sometimes I would drive. Like in the country, you start driving at a young age, like 11. Like that's not something that's uncommon, because you know sometimes you gotta run to the store or you gotta drive to church or different things. Okay, so you learn how to drive early. Anyways, I just remember I asked my grandpa, because we just like to be funny together. Like I was like, Grandpa, who I'm built like I don't think I look like the rest of them. And he would sit up and say to me, oh, Linda, you built up like the Campbell women. They had nice bone structure and pretty skin. And I was like, oh, okay, Grandpa. And he was right. Like when I seen my cousins, the Campbell side, shout out to the Campbells in San Antonio and Hopewell and all of that. Yeah, I am built up like them. Like we all got these cheekbones high, right? Slanted eyes, the lips and all that stuff, and the hair, and the way we built. Like that's natural. Like I don't care how much I change up how I eat or whatever. Like I'm gonna have to build, but like I can cut down and eat healthy. Like doesn't mean that I have to, you know, straight up just get big. Like I do. You do have to take care of your health. But anyway, that was that. So we would just have fun with that, and we would be laughing, me and my grandpa. But what I noticed about the Campbell side is most of them, like it's not uncommon for the women to preach and run their own church, and like we literally run stuff. So like it looks like it runs in the family. Anyways, going over to my dad's side, the Armstrong. So my grandfather, Wilbur Armstrong, he was in the service, so he knew how to fix cars. So that was like my interest in cars, of why I know so much about cars, because I spent a lot of time with him as well. And I can definitely say yes, he spoiled me as well. Like he's the reason why I learned that, oh, you give women jewelry, because he started out giving me jewelry. Like I had a whole little diamond jewelry box, and he would just like bring me jewelry, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's what you're supposed to do. So now I just believe that I'm supposed to have jewelry, and real jewelry, like not no fake, like real, like 14 karat and up. You know, that's the only thing I can wear. Or I gotta take it off that day. Like I can't keep it in, because my skin is allergic to it. The craziness. I was telling my mom, thanks, Mom. So anyway, we would go to the junkyard, like where he worked there. He would fix on cars in Lamarck, Texas. So that's why I like know so much about Houston. Like I kind of got to be like all over. And so we were like right by Galveston. So that's why I love the water. Like if I want to break, that's my getaway. Like I need to see the water, not Galveston water, but just water. The Galveston water. Anyway, that's another story about the environment. But in saying that, that's how I know about cars and stuff, because I used to be with my grandfather, and he'd be, he called me little girl, hand me, he'd be like, hand me this, and then I had to learn, oh, that's a wrench, oh, okay, that's a Phillips screw, okay, so, oh, okay, and that's a Corvette, or that's a 1950 Ford, and I just learned different cars. And he also drove like big dump trucks too. Like he did what he had to do to make money. So usually I was like with him. I also went to to work with my grandmother, who he was married to, to Sarah Lee Armstrong. And just seeing both my grandparents work. Like, she used to work at the hotel in Lamarck, so I would go with her and watch her clean and stuff and help her clean. And she would like put me in a little room where I watch cartoons or whatever, and sometimes I'd be like, well, Grandma, can I help you? And she would be like, oh yeah, come on. So I help her, and then once she got finished, we went home, and then we had lunch. Oh, she used to make the best, what they call it, with the shrimp and the okra. Oh, it used to be so good. I think that was my grandpa's favorite, because every week she made that shrimp and okra and corn. That was how I came to love like Louisiana food. Ooh. But anyway, that was that. Them and just things that you pick up from your grandparents that sticks with you. Like that's how you learn your history. Like, my grandfather was in World War II, so like from him being in World War II, that's how he learned to fix on the cars. My dad was in the service. That's how he learned. Servicemen are different. Like, what you learn from them is gonna be different, and how they carry themselves too. But also learning, like, I learned real early to navigate the VA and the bureaucracy, right? Like, so I had to learn how to